Gab and Jam, episode 251.
And what are we talking about today?
All right, so today we're talking about electronic press kit basics for the DIY rockstar.
Okay, so now you're going to have to explain what an electronic press kit is.
I love it. So, electronic press kit. So the first thing is, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is how you convey who you and your band are, your basic brand information. Also, for people who want to work with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a way where they can access your music, your videos, your photos, your any press clippings you have, just all of that in one package.
Okay, so where would you recommend, I guess, keeping
I love it. So
electronic press kit? Where would,
okay, so I was going to talk about who would want one, but let's go to where you could either house it on your website.
Okay.
And we have one with a big Prejippie landing page where there's all the information and links to all that. Or you can have it as a downloadable file.
Okay.
That's like in a Google Doc that has links in it.
Okay.
To the photos.
So
the
actual document would be on Google Docs.
Yes, and then you can send it to people, and then that way it is one, just one file, even though it has links within it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So and actually, there will be a template that you can download that we will have a link below so that you can get an idea of what one of those looks like.
Okay, so we know what it is.
Yeah.
And we know where you keep it. So why would you want one?
You would want one because it is the one thing that if someone is going to partner with you, as in if you're going to perform live at their venue, if they're going to do a blog post about you, if they're going to play you on their radio station or add you to their Spotify playlist, they may ask for, they call it an EPK.
Okay.
Which is electronic press kit. And so you want to make sure you have that available, because there's nothing worse than having an opportunity and someone's asking for it and you want to give it, and now you have to figure out, oh my goodness, I don't have one, how do I do it?
Okay.
And all that. So it's something you kind of need to have at the ready, and then you can just update it as you include more information.
Okay, so like if you get reviews, if you get things like that, then you would just you would then update your EPK to reflect this new information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think you did kind of touch on the who with the why. So you're saying the who would be anyone from, venue owners.
Yes.
It could be record companies.
Yes.
It could be, people for placements and things like that. Like if you're looking to get your stuff placed, sync licensing.
Or playlist placement. Yeah.
All those type of things.
People like to know that they're dealing with a quote unquote winner. We know as a DIY rockstar, we still need to have our gloss. We still need to have our floss, right?
Right.
So it is one way where you can make everything look beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can make yourself look as inviting as possible. In one little package.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whatever the highlights that make you look the best.
Yes.
Are the things that you should include.
Yeah.
So if you have a great social media following, you probably should add that in. Hey, I have,
X amount of things that's happening.
And that will help someone decide to say, you already are doing the groundwork, let me include you in this opportunity.
So would you recommend like keeping an EPK, if I can say it, on like, let's just say you have a Facebook group. Would you recommend putting it there?
That actually is not a bad idea. The only thing is, if it's not gonna be housed on your website.
Okay.
Then if it's already the static document, then the things won't change.
Okay.
You'd have to go in and physically swap out.
You have to swap out. But you're saying that you would always recommend having it on your own website that you control.
Yes.
So that, just in case something happens on Facebook or whatever else.
Yeah, some people, we're going to talk about that next time. Next time is going to be why you need a website.
Yeah.
But some people think they can do everything on Instagram.
Right.
And
that's the point I was trying to get to. That some people might feel like, hey, I can do everything on Facebook. I got these Facebook groups. I update them regularly. So I'm just going to store my EPK out there.
Yeah.
And then, but.
And that's fine. You can have a presence there, but I wouldn't make that the only place.
Right, because you just never know. I mean, the thing is that, we didn't know that what happened to MySpace was going to happen to MySpace until it happened to MySpace,
or
right?
Periscope or
Yeah,
Vines.
right.
I mean, just
some of these other
right now Clubhouse. I mean,
right.
Clubhouse was all the rage, and I was
Right.
trying to get on it, and now I don't hear anybody talking about
Right.
Clubhouse. Like, what happened?
So we're hearing this. Facebook is it now,
right?
But it doesn't have to be it a year from now.
There are a lot of people that are running off of Facebook because of the algorithm changes, because of the politics, because of so many other things that, So it's good to have a presence, and we've had that conversation before.
Right.
So I'll put that in the description below, where you can see why you should be on a variety of social media places. However,
always kind of have that element, that web presence that you control.
Yes.
So
that's where that website would come in.
Push comes to shove, you always know that there is a space where someone can find your content.
Yeah, because the problem, and I know this is kind of cutting into what we're going to talk about next time, but the problem with social media is you get to pin one post, I know on Facebook, on your groups or your page or whatever.
Right.
But like as you post, things go down the feed. I know for me, even if I'm curious about something, if I go to someone's page, I'm not scrolling down 5 months worth of,
that's another interesting point, that even, making sure that the link that you're giving to someone that's looking for your EPK, that they're going to be able to get it if you're directing them to Facebook.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're directing them to your webpage,
you can put it wherever you put it in the menu.
Exactly
you can put it right on
where they're going.
The cover
you
page.
Control that.
Yeah.
And so
you can make it look, the customer experience can be different, which means you can have them find what you think they need to find right on that first page, and they can click through.
Exactly. Yeah. And you just never know. It might be your luck the day that you're sending everyone to your EPK
on
that
Facebook,
Facebook's decided to cancel groups.
Down.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
who
knows?
They did that with podcasts. There were so many people talking about you should have your podcast because Facebook has opened up podcasts.
Right.
And, and I'm like, oh, shoot, there's something else to add to the list. So by the time I was thinking about actually doing it, now they're saying, oh, they have decided not to do podcasts anymore.
Right.
So any work that you did on that, that's just down the tubes.
Right. So you just never know. It might decide to get rid of groups or get rid of certain groups. And maybe even erroneously, it might be your group.
Yeah.
And, you would have to go to the Facebook, police and let them know, there's nothing wrong with my group, but by the time you get it back up, you may have missed your opportunity.
Yeah.
So having that site that you can control always makes it a lot better for them.
Yeah, and make sure you have that EPK, again, where people can access your information. You can make it where EPKs are by request only, but again, as DIY rock stars, I like to be available, so that people can access the information when they would like it and not have to reach out and ask me for it. Yeah,
and then that way, like you can have business cards. That people could be able to just scan and just have QR code that they can scan and take them right to your EPK. So you can use it in a variety of different ways, and it's up to you how you want to use it. You control the site, which is great. So you kind of what's going to work with it. As opposed to having Facebook or some other entity that is controlling it and kind of being left to what might appear to be a whim to you as far as them changing things. But, always baked into their terms and conditions is that they get to do whatever they want to do.
And
at any point in time and all the rest of that kind of stuff.
And tell you what and what not to upload. And I'm saying, if you're one of these, you might be a group that I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but maybe you talk about suicide. I mean, I'm just being honest. You could be a group that is always talking about your anxiety, your
and it could
troubles.
be helpful, and a way of trying to encourage somebody to do it.
But if you mention the word, or if you talk about the topic, I know for a fact YouTube has told us that some of our videos, the topic is too sensitive.
Like if you happen to talk about that period of time in which the world shut down, which I won't say what it was,
because
there was that period, that happened, and the impact that had on people from a mental perspective. If you kind of clearly state what that is, that could trigger them to do certain things.
And then they won't share you. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff.
And and don't take this as a whine against this. It's their platforms. They get
Yep.
to do what they want
Yes.
to do. And so that's why we just
it's up
encourage
to
you
us to be
go,
wise, though.
Right. Yeah.
And look out for ourselves. And so in looking out for yourself,
Right.
having your electronic press kit available on your website
Right.
is
Where
always
you
the
can
first
do
place.
the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying that there are things like Patreon. There are other ways that, you know, if people are, you know, they want the content that you have, and maybe it's content that isn't, you know, per se YouTube friendly or whatever.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you can direct them elsewhere if you have your own site, and you
Yes.
can put the video up there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
can.
so that's always it. And that could be, you know, maybe a paid part, you know, for people to go and check
Yeah.
your stuff out.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
could be helpful. Again, I don't assume just because the topic is
Right.
the S word, that it's going to be a negative impact on the listener. That
Right.
sometimes it's cathartic.
It could be, but
Yeah.
but the way that they kind of run things, they have to catch things in
Yes.
a broad net.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, that's what works for them.
Yeah.
But what you can do is sometimes you can take the fact that, hey, you can't do it here as an opportunity.
Yeah.
To do it someplace
Yes,
else.
yes.
And that's why kind of having that place where you control your own content is helpful to have that.
But we'll talk more about that next time when we talk about having your own website and
Yeah.
why it is essential.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? Do you guys have an electronic press kit, an EPK? If you do, drop your links below because we'd like to check it out. How about that?
Yeah.
If you have any other questions about an EPK, drop it below. Also, we have a template and a checklist that you can download. So the links will be below.
Yeah.
What else?
So you can stream SugarFit, and I mean, there's actually even other things that's out there that you can stream. You could everywhere that you stream music, and of course, if you want to get the physical CD, you can get it through CD Baby. You can get it through Bandcamp, and there's also
ringtones.
Yeah.
So if you want your phone to ring with that SugarFit funk,
Yeah.
make sure you check the link below. And if you dig the vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe, be sure to.
subscribe.
We're wishing you love, peace, and
Chicken grease.